I for like the three people that asked me how to make a keyframe, here's how you do it. So you will need a couple things. You'll need an emo ass fucking song. I'm using this because I can. Um, you need some shaders. Uh, you can find them. This is the best out of all of them. I recommend that. And you'll need a thing called that better keyframe, which you can hear the music with. So first, get your shaders and drag them in. I already have shaders, so I don't need to. You want to click on your avatar, go to Effects, Particle System, or you could go 3D Object and Cube. For now, I'm doing Particle System. Name it Keyframe, and then whatever keyframe you've done. So this would be my 10th for this avatar. And now you want to do audio source, and you want to drag in your audio. And once you have your audio in there, you want to. Oh, by the way, so when you have the audio waveform, which is the better keyframing, go to Window and then click on better keyframing. That will make this pop up. And you want to drag your song into there. Now you keep it there. Create um, animation. Name this your keyframe number, so keyframe 10, and drag it onto there. Now create a basically you're gonna attach this to the shaders. So how much shaders you have is how much you're gonna create. For me, for example purposes, I'm gonna be using Dope, June, Doc Me, and maybe Temmie shader. I'm not sure though. Um, so what you would do is you create a new material, name it your first shader. I would recommend putting Doc Me on top at all times, and drag it in there. This one, it compiled terribly, so I'm gonna have to recompile it. I recommend 0.4 specifically, and by the way, these do cost money. Don't ask me for them. Pay for it yourself. And here is DocMe 0.4. Create material. June. I already have June installed. Where is it? Luca June 4 to do the installer. Good June for main. So here's June. Best fucking shader ever. 400 effects. Recommend it. Create material. Dope 3.2 point whatever 321. I don't care. Dope shader, yeah, 2 point close to fuck enough. Alright, so there's Dope, and I'll do Temmie. Now we have those. So you want to now turn off animator if you want. Drag on DocMe. You can use any shader. You can use only Dope, only June, only Temmie, or free shaders such as Leviance. Now you want to go particle system. Set this to 10, duration 10. Speed to 1. Size to 100. And max particles 1. And lifetime 1. you can leave it on 5. Turn on, shape, go to sphere, no, turn off shape, go to renderer, billboard mesh, make sure it's on either cube or circle, or sphere, whatever. I'll put it on sphere for now. Trust me, that is gonna help a lot. This should be fine. Now you want to Control D this to duplicate it and remove the audio source and rename this, rename that to your second shader. For example, dope. Put dope and it has the same settings. And now I can move that there now. I will, yeah, there. Dope, Control D, June, paste June. Wait, did I paste on? No, that's still dock me. Dope, June, and now Temmie. You can also remove the, no, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just keep it that way. Have these, organize it. So there's a thing called fade, start, and end. It's basically how far someone can see it. As you can see, it's already fucking up. I don't know why it doesn't work, but just turn off this. For some reason, it just makes it better. Set this to 0 and put a bunch of 9s. Dope, you want to do the same thing, but change it to infinite range. Temmie, same thing. June, if you have it, or if you want to, same thing, 9. And there you go. It's fine if it says that, it just means infinite. Now, if you do an effect, for example, I'll do zoom. Should now zoom. Camera's a bit weird, but yeah, it should zoom. Particle system, no. Yeah. Make sure this works. Zoom, simple. Yeah. Zoom. If you don't see a shader, press restart. Yeah, so there's this shader. Now, there's multiple ways of keyframing, and this is the way I do it. So first of all, you want to get reference. If this is your first keyframe, you want to get reference. And people I would recommend is Silent. He makes good keyframes. Psycho, also really good keyframes. And Cryo. These are keyframes. They're good to base off. For example, right here, for an opening, you could use for reference as a zoom in too. Beat, you would do a shake, obviously, and he does a bit of distortion. Yeah, so you could use reference if you don't know what to do. For my song, I can only do fast-paced songs, so yeah, I recommend turning on instant audio so you can hear where the beat is. So if I was to go, you can't hear it, so if I was to keyframe, for example, this is a beat, I wouldn't be able to hear it, and I'd be just guessing. This isn't completely accurate, but so here's the lyrics.
You're about to get.
So there's where you would hear it. To set up the keyframe, you're gonna have to zoom out a bit with just scroll wheel over your keyframing area. If you don't have this, also go to Windows, and then animation. Yeah, animation. And zoom out. I recommend choosing a shorter song so I can get it done fast and not rush it. Good place for songs is SoundCloud. There is a ton of stuff on here. A bunch of emo. Tons of emo. And yeah. So, step one, find the end of the song. You want to add property. Go to, I don't know, this, sure, or transform, position, that works. Add a key. So basically it just lists the full song as a keyframe and delete that. And don't modify this.
You're about to get yacked.
That is fucking loud. I will turn down that. Oh, shit. I don't know how loud that is for OBS, but yeah, it's big emo, so I can hear where the beat is. Better example would be if I went on, sure, this good song, you would need to hear where all that is. If you don't have it on, you'd have to, like, do that when you could just... There's one. That's a beat. And so on, so on. Let me go to tutorial, emo. Red Nails by Yox. It's the second portion. I don't know, it's fast paced. So now the actual keyframing. So you have to think of something with the song first. Don't just go in for it and expect something to be good. That won't happen. This is important. So, for example, I would do this is not what I'm going to do, but just an example of keyframing. I would press record, and if I wanted to start out already like zoomed out and I wanted to do a zoom in, move this, first I gotta play obviously, make it zoomed out about 9999, because if you set it to all -1 it will corrupt your screen space a bit. And now set this to 0, and now you should have a, camera's a bit weird, should have a zoom in.
You're about to get yacked.
As you can see. And if you want to do a shake, you would do this right here. Also, don't enable stuff while you're recording. That will fuck up your shit. I'll do Dope, for example, has a really good shake. Imagine there is a beat right here. I don't fucking know. You'd first zoom in a bit so you can precisely keyframe it. And beat, you would first mark it as 0. So it begins at 0 and is constantly shaking up to 0, and so on. Go to a next keyframe, set it to 100 or 1 depending on what shader, and make it slowly go up. So you would put it about here to end it off. I'll do it about here for now. And if you want it to be smoother, if it's a slower paced song, move this a bit over here or over here, so it has some lead up and then fade off. So it'd be like that. And you'd be copy and paster and just do copy and paste. Here's another beat. Go a bit before, paste. If it is fast paced like that, where it has multiple, you're gonna want to short it down a bit. So it's then, as in I would do that. Put it pretty close, but not. This is a fade chain, a sound change. Put that there. Yeah. So I go did the so and so on. And yeah. And that's basically how you would do a keyframe for an effect. So when you first start off, you're going to be not wanting just plain normal, you're going to want some background effects. For example, I'll go on this, sure, whatever this one is. There's a seizure one. I use June for the black and shit. Slow as fuck. Yeah, it's kind of corrupted right here. I don't know why. But you can see the dither everywhere and the glitching and a bunch of shit. Or this one right here. I think is vicious. Yeah. I don't know why it's not working.
About to get yacht.
I'm using so much shaders. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll figure it out later, but yeah. If you want to do text also, you can use texture shaders such as this one. By Dope, put in textures, keyframe, the number, and yeah, and you're gonna have to make these images yourself. That's what I got. Alright, so I changed the song, and because like the other one, yeah, and I also did some, I added some shaders, such as this shader toy one that adds this background effect. I did some filters with Dope. Dope is doing the glitching, you can see, and using DocMe for some background effects, and June for some bordering later on. And this is what I've got so far.
Ecstasy.
Hey, Boo, give me some Skittles, man.
I don't understand what's going on. I just took 10 shots to the dome. Can someone take me home? I wanna die, I've been so alone. I don't understand what's going on. I just took 10 shots to the dome. Can someone take me home? I wanna die, I've been so alone. Nobody loves me for me. I hate myself, so I guess it makes sense. I'm obscene. I kill myself in my sins. Hopefully it becomes reality.
So that's what I've got so far. It's nowhere close to being complete. I need to still like get some beat and do some zooming and fisheye with this and a bunch of other shit. Yeah, so that's basically keyframing. This will be coming out later, I guess, on my avatars. I don't fucking know. As well, So if I forgot to show the keyframing done, so the zoom is not complete as well, but here's some of the zoom. If I find it's using zoom by dock me zoom. So I'll go over to zoom right here. So basically it zooms out all the way and then goes in, zooms out on another beat and goes in, and so on. With the movement right here, it is on every clang or whatever the fuck it is, it moves the x-axis offset by -6 or something. So it would be normal, goes out, and then goes back in. Normal, goes out, goes in, goes out, goes in, so on. Pixelation is by dope, set at the triangle, and the white that forms, that is vignette or whatever the vignette, I don't know. And it is right here, just set it to white, set the power all the way, and to make it smooth and not immediate on the beat, you wanna, and this is on the hard beat, as in right there, and it would kind of fade off for a bit, so it has some cleanness. You don't want it, the keyframe, to surround the exact thing only. You want some extra to give it some smoothness. If I move this all the way up to here, then it just isn't noticeable. Or notice the cut. If I move this just right there, then that is not noticeable. Versus this. Alright, so one extra thing to know about is if you have multiple shaders, there's something called a render queue, which basically means the higher the render queue, the shader is going to play first. So dock me, if you set it to from shader instead of geometry, it will overlay every other shader and be on top. If you want it on bottom, set of geometry, and now dope is now on top because it has a higher render queue, as it's 4,000 instead of 2,000 with right here. And if you have Temi shader, it seems to not like itself sometimes, so as in just overlay everything. So just set it to transparent or any of these and it should work. Or just lower this to I don't know, 10,000 or whatever, and you should be fine. Another thing is make sure your values always start on 0 unless it needs to be already active, like this one. And also your first keyframe is probably never going to be good. You just gotta keep on practicing and shit, and you'll finally get good. It took me 10 keyframes to get halfway decent, and I'm not the best person to be keyframing. I don't really do keyframing that much, but it normally takes other people. It took Klee and Psycho about to their 30th keyframe to actually make good ones, and yeah.